A supervisor account is when you go in and they make you a loan. They hold your money. They get the check from Kansas City, and they hold your money in a supervisor. They put your money into an account. You put your money into an account at the bank, where they are on the account with you, and they give you a checkbook at the bank, but the check was not honored until both signatures was on the check. Like if I had the check or they got the check, when I went in for something, and let's say $10,000 for fertilizer and chemicals and stuff like that. Well, the county supervisor had to sign it, and then you can sign it, and then you can take it to the bank, and then you can pay your bills like that. And that was aggravating us all get out. I don't know if any had a supervisor account. It may have been, and I wasn't told about it, but I don't know of any. I thought it was more likely that they didn't have to go through the same rigmarole that we had to go through. It made it difficult. I mean, those supervisor accounts made it difficult. You had to wait until you could find out whether or not you was gonna get the money for what you needed to do and get the right amount for what you were trying to do at the time, and you was limited to what you could do. But it was aggravating from start to finish on a supervisor account. I got off on a supervisor account in 86, and that was the only loan I got unsupervised in 86. Here's what they did in after 85. When you applied for an operating loan, you got all your paperwork together, and you went in for the operating loan and sit down with the county supervisor, and they would go through everything. You put down how much you need expenses for your fertilizer, your chemicals, and your seeds and labor, repairs, and all this kind of stuff. And you had to list each one. And the county supervisor would go in and scratch out what you put down and write in, he said the actual, the county average or something like that. I said, I don't go by county average. I'm going by I'm telling you what we can do. He said, no, we going by the county average. So he'll draw a line through it and write it out there. And then when he went through the whole application, then it didn't cash flow. And then quite naturally, you denied. And so that kind of made you mad, pissed you off, or whatever you want to say. And you had nowhere else to go. I mean, you couldn't do nothing else. I believe it was 4 on that committee, 3 or 4 on that committee. They had to have one black on that committee to make it legitimate. But there were 3 farmers in the county that would make all the decisions on who borrowed the money and who didn't. At one point, my dad was on that committee, and I remember him coming in. They would have it late in the evening, and I remember one day he came in and said that the county supervisor and the committee didn't want some black man to have a loan, but he stuck up for him, and they changed their mind about letting him have the loan. I don't remember who it was, but I remember that one instance. But he stuck out for him so he could get the loan to farm with. It's a total different when you got a black man on that, black people on that committee. It makes it's a total difference in the way they act and the decisions that they make. I feel like it is. It seemed to me that they supported them wholeheartedly because it just looked like to me that they got what they wanted to get when they wanted to get it, without the same stuff we had to go through as black folk to get what we needed to get. Simply because, it was almost evident that they could continue to farm and do what they want to do on time, plant their crops on time, and they were borrowing money from the same place I borrowed it from. And I couldn't understand it, but I was on the outside looking in, so they don't tell you everything. I don't know whether the committees impacted my ability to farm simply because, they don't let you know. They don't let you know who making the decision. The county agent, or the Amos Morrow at the time, county supervisor, he would call you and tell you what was going to happen. He didn't say the committee said it. Matter of fact, let me think. I'm thinking back. He said that we ain't gonna let you have our money. I said, beg your pardon, sir. He said, we ain't gonna let you have our money. Our money? Oh, okay. I said, okay, whatever you say, man. The only thing I could do was appeal his decision to the appeal, to the appeals process, and knowing all the time that if FSA is paying them to handle these cases, you ain't got a snowball chance to win it. So, but we then went through the process just to see what's going to happen. Amos Morrow was the one that called you and let you know whether or not you were going to get the loan or not. He didn't really talk about the committee at all to you when you make an application or when you're trying to get a loan. I mean, he never mentioned the committee. He was acting like it was him that made the decision, or somebody in Kansas City made the decision, or Washington, D.C. or something like that, or the state office in Atlanta. He always acted like it was somebody else other than the committee. Like he was trying to keep you from knowing it was the 4 panel there in Sylvester actually one did it to you. But I mean, you had to go with the flow. I mean, you can kick against it all you want to, as long as they got the controlling factor. They holding your land, they holding everything you got. I mean, all you can do is just go with the flow. We knew it was the kind of committee that was actually behind all of it, but when you helped us, you couldn't do anything about it. We didn't vote them in, and we couldn't vote them out. I mean, they was hand-picked by somebody. I don't know who. When we first heard about those hearings being held in Albany, I was very enthused and very motivated, and thinking that we were finna get some help finally. The Secretary of Agriculture coming down to actually talk to us to find out what our problem is so he could go back and help us. I thought for sure that this was going to be a helpful listening session, and come to find out it was totally opposite. I can't remember. It had been so long ago, I can't remember. I remember it was a line of people coming up to the mic to speak about how bad they've been treated by former home administration, and about their tactics and not being able to acquire loans and not being able to farm, and but the results of all of that, all those talks, because that meeting lasted all day almost. There was so many people wanting to talk. People lined up to ask questions and complain. I was about the first or the second one. Matter of fact, it's on camera. I was on camera that day, and I told them about all of the stuff I've been through, couldn't acquire a loan, how they did me. And he sent one of his representatives down to me to talk to me and get all my information. And they went back to Washington 2 weeks later. I got a notice in the mail saying that they was accelerating my account. And they were getting ready to foreclose. It was like, I'm going to teach you about getting up and saying something in a meeting, getting on TV. I'm like, wow. But we fought it. I think that was the first time we had to file bankrupt to stop them. Try to stop them. And we were successful by doing that. So, but still in the same predicament. CRAT stands for Civil Rights Action Team. And that team was supposed to help us with our civil rights as being black farmers. And we went to the hearings to see was it going to help, complain, but after that I said I wouldn't get up in another one and say nothing. They sat there and listened. When Mike Esper became Secretary of Agriculture, I definitely thought we was on our way to doing what we could do, doing what we wanted to do as far as farming goes, and we would be able to compete, with the other race of people as far as farming. But it did nothing change. I mean, it's sad, but it didn't change. When Dan Glickman became Secretary of Agriculture, I thought things would change under the Clinton administration. And it's, like I said, especially when he came down to Albany to listen to our complaints. But it was just the opposite of what I was thinking. Especially when we got Obama in. I thought, man, we fixing to clip all of these old debts, and we'll be able to get back to normal, go to farming again, And when I heard about the money he appropriated for the black farmers and thought that was going to do it, all you had to do was send your paperwork in and thought that was going to do it, but the paperwork came back denied. I was like, wow. I thought it would change then. Anytime we got a black person in the office in a position to help, I thought that was going to make the big difference. I thought that was going to be the biggest difference and make the biggest difference. But I was wrong every time. My opinion of it, the president don't put in enough effort towards what they are doing. I mean, you appropriate all this money to do this and do that. Why not follow through on it to make sure it's done what you earmarked it to do? I mean, just put it out there and just say, y'all do what you want to do with it, and then it don't ever get to the people that actually need it. The USDA just got a problem with black folk with land. I mean, it's evidence. It's all over. I mean, it's everywhere black people own land, that 90% of it have a problem. And trying to hold on to it, and they got the first lien on it. USDA, I won't say it's a people department. It's there to help certain people, I would say that, but helping the black people, if Abraham Lincoln set that up for help all people, it was something he missed in that to allow them to do what they're doing now, unless somebody changed the way it was written. It was a good thing to start with if it had been fair, but the way it's been changed up or the way they're doing now, it's totally unfair.